You remember when the children of Israel were wandering through the desert, they took the ark and put it in their tent and carried it out whenever they moved to one place or another. So this is the story of the tent becoming the temple. So David was the king at the time of the time that they did not have a temple, that they had finally taken Jerusalem, and he made Jerusalem the city of David after he took it. So he wanted to bring the ark home. It had been sitting on a hill for 20 years in a man's house. So he brings it home, parades it home, dances in front of it. He's so glad to have it there. And he wanted to build a temple for it. But the Lord said, no, you're a warring king. I want your son to build the temple. So King David had a son named Solomon. And Solomon, when King David died, he was buried in the city of David. And Solomon became king. And he started building the temple. The first thing he started with was the cedars of Lebanon. Everyone got together and helped them build the temple. And the cedars of Lebanon were quite a ways away. They had to go bring them back and build this huge floor for the temple. And it smells just like cedar. So the whole temple probably smelled like cedar. And they made a special place for the ark. And then they put the same things that they had in the desert. They put a bigger basin to wash the animal in, and a bigger sacrificial platform where they slaughtered the animal. And then they put columns of gold, and then they built the walls of marble and stones that they collected from the valley. And then after they put all of the walls in, they made sure that the ark had the special things to come through to get ready to worship at the ark. There was the 7 candles. There was the table that held all the wafers. And there was the table of incense that they put incense on to get ready to go into the temple. And then they had a big, giant entrance to go in to get ready. The only day that the priest went into the Holy of Holies, where the ark was the Day of Atonement. So, once they got all of this built, took them longer to build it than I'm taking, but they did a better job, I think. There. Once the temple was built, the Holy of Holies had a curtain between it that kept it separate from the rest of the temple. And then King Solomon went to the steps of the temple, and he gave a prayer of dedication for the temple, and it went like this. O Lord God of Israel, there is no God like thee, in heaven above or earth beneath, keeping covenant and slowly steadfast love to thy servants who walk before thee with all their heart. But will God indeed dwell on earth? Behold, heaven and the highest heaven cannot contain thee. How much less this house will I have built? Yet have regard to the prayer of thy servant and to his supplication. And after he prayed that prayer, a lightning cloud filled the temple, and they knew that the Lord was with them in the temple, and that they could go in and worship him there. Now, Solomon was king for 40 years, and then he died, and he was buried in the city of David like his father was. And his son became king. Now, I wonder, do you see yourself in this story? If you do, where would you be in this story? What's the most important part of this story? I wonder if there's any part of the story we can leave out and still have the story. You know, in Jesus' time, they had the temple. Jesus went to the temple. But after Jesus, the temple was destroyed and left totally in ruins, and the ark was gone. So I wonder today where the ark might be. We don't know where it is.